That immediately grabs your attention, doesn't it? Because this idea that God has always been speaking, not just, occasionally popping in, not just through ancient texts, but in this ongoing perpetual way,
Right.
since creation. That's a really revolutionary way to think about it, a huge paradigm shift. It shifts our understanding from maybe passively waiting for some rare divine message to actively cultivating an awareness of a conversation that's always happening. So it's not just about shifting the burden onto us, but it reframes God's interaction from scarcity to abundance, right? How does this always speaking idea, how do you think it challenges maybe some historical or even our own personal ideas about God's presence?
Well, that assertion that God is always speaking,
Yeah.
it subtly but powerfully challenges centuries of theological debate, really. Discussions about divine hiddenness, It radically reorients our spiritual posture. Historically, sure, there have been times people felt God was distant or silent. But this view says, no, the communication, it never actually stopped. It suggests a very active, relational God, consistently seeking connection. It paints this picture of a universe just, imbued with divine intention, constantly communicating its design, its purpose. Think about patterns in nature, the Fibonacci sequence you see in a sunflower, or the spirals in a galaxy, or even just those subtle gut feelings we get, that deeper sense nudging us. These aren't always booming voices from the sky, right?
Yeah.
But they are constant signals pointing to some underlying intelligence and order. It's a huge spectrum of communication. It shifts the dynamic from wondering, is God even talking to me, to realizing, okay, how am I tuning into the communication that's already happening all around me?